Next, we look at order of operations. So to be able to do that, I'm first going to show you how exponents work. Exponents are a set of instructions. It says multiply this number this many times. So what we do is we take the number 3 and we multiply it out 3 times. Okay, so the most common mistake that you'll see in a question like this is that 3 to the power of 3 equals 9. So somebody will do the straight multiplication. That's not correct, and let's take a look at why. All right, so if we work our way left to right through the multiplication, we'll see that 3 times 3 makes 9. And there's one more 3 to multiply it by, and 9 times 3 equals 27. So 3 cubed, or 3 to the power of 3, equals 27. Another operation that is, well, one way to look at it would be as something like an opposite to an exponent, is taking what is, in this case, a square root. So what we're looking for here is what number, when squared, would equal 100. So what number squared would equal 100? Well, just some work off the side. 9 squared would equal 81, so it needs to be higher than that. 11 squared would equal 121. That's too high, so we go to 10 squared, and it equals 100. And so the result is not 10 squared, but just the number. We're saying what number, when squared, would equal 100, and the result is 10. Next up is order of operations. So now we can see how to combine all the individual skills we've looked at so far, right? And there's a set of rules that nature seems to work by. Right, so if our human invented math system is going to represent nature, there are some rules that we need to follow. And most of us probably grew up learning that this is called BEDMAS, where we've got brackets, exponents, divide, multiply, add, subtract. I'm going to add a couple of extra details to this so that we know what to do when we get to more complex questions. This set of rules will apply to everything that we do. So we need to know that when we come across multiple sets of brackets, that we should work from the innermost bracket to the outermost. Then from there, exponents should be done from left to right. Divide and multiply are of equal power, and you should do them from left to right as you move through the question. This left to right thing actually does matter and can change your answer. And lastly, add and subtract are of the same power and need to be done from left to right as well. Okay, and just overall, as you're working through your order of operations or any math that you're doing, you generally should move from left to right following order of operations. If we take a look at a question like this, we've got first of all, set of brackets that we need to work within. And within that set of brackets, there's a subtraction and an exponent. So we need to do the exponent first up. Well, let's change colors. There we go. 20 minus 2 cubed is 8, or we could think of it as 2 times 2 times 2 if we're doing all our steps. From here, 20 minus 2 times 2 times 2, we said, is 8. Okay, so now we've got a subtraction and we've got a division, right? So you'd think that maybe the division should go first, but what we have to remember is that we're still working inside the set of brackets. Brackets are more important than division, right? So here we go, and 20 minus 8 is going to be 12, and when we divide that by 6, we can finally do our division. We get the result, which is 2. We look at something a little more complex, and this one has multiple sets of brackets. And my instructions previously were that when you have multiple sets of brackets, you're supposed to work from the innermost brackets to the outermost brackets. And that was great advice, except for we have two sets of inner brackets. So which one of these should we be doing first? Because yes, we do the inside ones first. Well, that's where the left to right thing comes in, and we can just work our way from left to right, and everything should work out just fine. So working on this left-hand side of brackets first, we've got 2 plus 1 is 3. We will square that. Subtraction we can't do until we've taken care of the bracket. 10 minus 8 is 2 squared, and everything should be squared once we get the total of the inner part. We now have 3 squared, which is 9, minus 2 squared, which is 4. And 9 minus 4 makes 5. And that should be squared. 5 squared makes 25. And there we go.